Hi, everyone. Today is James Randi, the amazing Randy's birthday. And I thought I'd do a quick video. I looked through my archives, and of course, yeah, I have a lot of videos of James Randi in kind of intimate moments with the public and just hanging out with him. Anytime James Randi was around, you turned on the camera, the video camera. Now, I'm not a videographer, and this was recorded in 2012. So I've done what I can to make it better. I've stabilized it a little bit, but when you're doing these kinds of things, these impromptu things, especially with James Randi or even Mark Edward, my partner, you have no idea where they're going to go. These people are showmen, so it just like all of a sudden they're doing something. You're like, camera, camera. I didn't have an iPhone back in 2012. I At least I don't think so, and I just recorded this. So what you're going to see is 6 minutes of James Randi being James Randi. So to set this up, this is 2012 at Dragon Con, which is about to happen for reals. It's still been going on. It happens in the Labor Day weekend, which would be the first part of September. And they have a track. It's a skeptic track. Now they have lots of tracks. They have, I guess, a religion track, a science track, um, uh, you know, anything you can think of as sci-fi, comics track, podcaster track, just every kind of track you can imagine. There's tens of thousands of people that are there. It's in Atlanta, Georgia. I've gone a few times. So what you see is after they have this little area set up for the skeptics with tables, and you can sell your books and so on there. They're not super trafficked because the place is massive and there's so many events going on all over the place. And so Randy was there, and Mark was also there, and Mark did a bunch of different things, lectures and just wonderful stuff. I can't remember if I've showed you the crowd, the lecture he did, standing room only, on that I called Clown in the Graveyard. I can't remember if I've shown you that or not. But anyway, it's wonderful. Really, really Mark Edward doing his thing. But James Randi for a while, gosh, I'm going to get into a story. James Randi for a long time, whenever Randy was, before he started doing the debunking stuff, I believe, he was an associate of Alice Cooper, who was a phenomenon musician back in the day. And Randy would cut his head off on stage every night. They had this giant guillotine, and what they would do is Alice Cooper would go on stage, and all these things were happening, and then Randy would come in as a masked executioner, and then he would do stuff, and then they would lay Alice Cooper down, and he'd get his head cut off guillotine, and then Randy would pick up his head and hold it up like this. So Alice Cooper was at Dragon Con that year. And, I'm nobody. I'm just Mark Edwards' girlfriend. Yes, I had started the Wikipedia team, but it was 2012. So I was just kind of finding my feet with that. But so Randy's all, come on, Mark, come on, let's go meet Alice. So they went, and Mark's like, uh, I guess it's just me, Susan. And I'm like, well, fine. And they said they wouldn't let any photographs, nothing. It was just go in. Randy got to meet, hang out with Alice and brought Mark, and that was it. So what you're going to see, you're not going to see anything about Alice Cooper, but I thought I'd put that in there because it's so fun. It's a fun story. What you're going to see is Mark Edward on the right. He's the very handsome man, and James Randi. And I'm standing over Randy's shoulder when I realize he's about to do a thing. And Randy just adored. I mean, they're both showmen. So Randy comes over, and people start accumulating at the table. And so Randy's like, I'm going to do a thing. I don't know what it's going to be. I have no idea. So Mark has a pile of his books, Psychic Blues. It's this one right here. So Randy has a stack of Psychic Blues sitting there on the table because Mark's signing books and selling books. And what Randy's about to do is called a book test. I have never liked book tests. I really can't stand them. I've seen bunches of varieties of them. I'm sorry for those of you out there who are fans of magic and fans of book tests. I just can't stand them. I've seen it done so many times. And when you know the methods of magic, sometimes you're just not that impressed with the things that other people would be impressed with. Yeah, there's strategies and things that are done differently, but okay, just kind of hard for me to be excited about some magic. Anyway, so the book test means that generally there are usually 2 books. The magician is, it looks like a free choice that the person has to decide which book is being used. I'm not going to say much more about that. And supposedly they're supposed to turn to a page in one book, and then that page is supposed to be looked at in another book. And they say, okay, go to page, and it's supposed to be some random page. I'm not going to say how the trick is done because there's a lot of ways of doing it. And I'm going to show you the video. You can figure it out for yourself. What I want you to really notice is what a freaking showman that Randy is. I mean, he was a magician. He could have pulled this off in a lot of different ways. But what he does at the end, oh my gosh, it blows your mind. He was always innovative. He was always trying new things. And Mark was the same way. Mark could have just done standard mentalism, but he was pushing the envelope all the time. I think I have a video on this channel that talks about Mark and the cantaloupe guy at the Magic Castle. God, that was Mark. Anything he could do to just make it more difficult for himself so that he could just really push it with, not going with the safe answer or the safe tactic. He was going after, no, let's make it difficult. Let's pick somebody in the audience who's obviously drunk and pull him up on stage and let's see what we get. That was Mark. And Randy, you're going to see at the very end, it gets a little, he's going back and forth with this woman and her spouse and her child. And it gets a little dull at the moment, but that's just patter that Randy's doing. And just, I've raised the volume as best I can, but it's a loud place, and I did what I could. And they have no idea who Randy is, which is fabulous. And Mark is just sitting there. He looks so handsome. I wish I told him how handsome he was more often. I really do. I'm looking at him now and I'm going, oh my God, he was so handsome. What a guy. Anyway, so Mark's sitting there. This is 12 years ago, by the way. And he's going, I know where Randy's going to go with this. And he's just really enjoying every moment of that, watching what Randy's doing. To be able to hang out with James Randi like that was incredible. Just, they were friends, and to have them so there. I mean, Randi even wrote the forward by James Randi. And the forward's right there. You can't find this book easily, forward for James Randi. You really can't find this book easily. It's out of print now. So you would have to pick it up secondhand probably. And I think I only have a couple copies, and I'm not necessarily selling them right now, but you can get the audiobook. And I get like 50 cents for every audiobook. And Mark reads it, and Randy's also, his audio is on the book. So if you check out Audible or someplace like that, if you want to hear Psychic Blues read by Mark Edward and the forward by James Randi, you can. Anyway, I'm not going to spoil it. So watch this 6-minute video. As I said, I apologize because I wasn't setting this up to be this fabulous video, but I want to give you a little intro. So watch it, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it.
Volunteer to be assisting in this part. You're going to put it in my group pen.
I was just going to follow where?
Okay. Which one of these would you like to use? This one here? Okay, fine. You're going to put this one right over there, all right? Yeah. Sorry. Don't try to help. Trying to help that sometimes gets faded. Now, I'm going to wear the page numbers right here at the top. Now, I'm going to flip. I'm going to flip through these pages very slowly, and you just tell me when to stop. Okay? Someplace over there.
Stop.
Okay. 59. Turn to page 59 in that pardon me, in that.
Okay.
But step way back, please, if you would be so kind. And make sure, no, the people are looking over your shoulder now. Be careful. There you go. Everyone's trying to look over your shoulder. Yeah, I had a hard time with this one because page 59 here doesn't have a number on it. So I had to look over to the number. But it is page 59. Right now, just read over that line to yourself. The first line on the page. Just read it over to yourself, not out loud. Okay, just read it to yourself. Now, if you come to a prominent word there, some sort of a prominent word, I'll need my to a prominent word there that you will settle on. Don't use a word like he or she or what, or something prominent there. It wouldn't be on the top line of every book that you turn. Okay?
Correct.
You have it? Okay.
Yes, I have it.
I need larger.
If you think of it, submit it to our site. We take them.
He's very helpful. I keep it around.
So, but yeah, anything you come up with, one of those crazy
Is this an English word?
just submit it to the
Oh, I'm
site.
glad to hear that. Okay. Okay, now I'm not going to look at you when I write this because I may be getting, I would get feedback. Because if I'm right, you see, you'll be like that. And if I'm wrong, you'll be going like that, you see. Now that would be body language. I don't want to use body language, so I'm just going to do right, is it an English word? That's right.
Yes.
Okay, just in case you're going to trouble. Right. This is too weird. No, this can't be. Well, this is very difficult because this is no, this doesn't make any sense at all.
What are we doing with these bracelets?
Wow.
I know,
What
but
could this
like,
be? Oh, something else occurred to me, so I can take a note here. Don't go. No. Now, I didn't look at you, I didn't see. I just got another impression here that it might be possible. All right, tell me, what was the word that you decided? Oh, I got it upside down. That happens so frequently. And it should be a capital A here. I missed on that. Yeah, that happens because probably, to me it would be backwards if I could look over your shoulder.
Awesome.
Isn't that a stuff? Look at it.
Oh.
Now, remember what you've done now. I asked you to choose a book and choose a page. You stopped me at, what was it, 59. You see no page number on it. This is 58, so I knew this was 59. I can figure these things out. And so a word was chosen at random out of a book of how many pages? I don't know how many pages there are in that book. Look at that.
220.
Yeah.
220. Now, what are the chances that one word on one page, a 220-page book that I couldn't possibly have memorized, even though I know this man very well. I didn't memorize your book today. Not that you know of. Okay. Now, my question, this is a serious question now. Serious. If I had called you over to do this demonstration and then said that I'm a psychic, that I have ESP, would you have believed it?
Well, you say you're not. So.
Yes, but if I had told you, if you
I
didn't
didn't
know
know
who I
who you
was,
were, okay.
no, if you didn't know who I was, and I had done this demonstration, now you see, you can be convinced by somebody who's a professional at it. And we two people, we are highly experienced professionals, so we can fool you.
Yes.
The point is, you always have to think twice. Don't accept it first.
Right.
Think about it more carefully. So you can do all the thinking you want about this particular thing, and I don't think you'll come up with a solution. But that doesn't mean there isn't a solution. So that's a lesson for you. Now go your way and don't sin again.
Will you please sign this one?
Of course, my dear. Okay. Yes, indeed. I keep forgetting what my name is, but you have a question about it?
That is what it is. That is what it is. So confused now.
Oh, I know we were working on the project. I didn't know if it became
One of the greatest magicians on
Yes.
Okay, so
they're still alive.
but we do tricks.
There you go, young man. That's what
Tricks. We
They
didn't go
have
to
a picture with my
Hogwarts,
son.
did we?
No, we didn't. I looked for it, but I couldn't find it in the book.
They have a picture with my son.
We would have loved to have gone to
I
Hogwarts.
come around. You get around. When you get around this way, yeah, this way would be well. All right.
He's little.
Oh,
Oh, climbing over the t-shirts.
All the secrets are right here in this book.
when you go back, you can go that way. It's a lot easier. But not yet. I didn't get the picture yet. You got it?
Thank you.
I'll take it.
So what did you think? Isn't that great? It's hard to see what he does, but that was James Randi. Like I said, I wasn't thinking I was video. I didn't know what I was videoing. Of course, I'm standing there holding the camera for those 6 minutes. And so, I'm trying to get into position, trying to hold it still. The video is as stabilized as it's going to get, at least with the technology we have now. And it's kind of hard to see, but Randi, he could have just named the target word, which was Airstream. And if you look on page 58 in here, 58, 59, the sentence says, system as I parked close to an Airstream trailer that looked to be where the money was hiding out. It's right there at the top of this page. And that's what a book test is. So it's supposed to be random words, but Randi could have just finagled it and got the word Airstream. But no, darn it, he writes it upside down. Oh my God, Randi just blows me away. And those little things and how much he really enjoyed interacting with the people that were there. The kid comes over and takes this picture with James Randi, and he has no idea that he's just saw this very amazing man. And he got to be there next to Mark Edward, who's also was an amazing man. I wish I believed in heaven. I wish I believed in life after death, because I'd really like to think that Randi and Mark are hanging out somewhere, sharing stories like they used to do all the time. And I can see why that would be a comfort to people. Absolutely. And why they would try to, say cognitively saying, no, you're wrong. This is all real. This is all real. They're obviously together. And there is life after death. Okay, so where was that? Randi gives a little thing about psychics at the end of that. And to Randi, he really saw the harm in psychics. And he was trying to explain to people, Mark also did the same thing, that we're human animals, we're easy to fool. The smarter you are doesn't mean anything to have to do with how easily you can be fooled. Randi's fooled so many scientists over the world over. And you have to understand that these people are skilled at what they can do, these magicians, mentalists, and they're always fooling people. And just because you saw it with your eyes doesn't mean it's real. I have, just in the last day or so, been having conversations on Twitter with somebody who was, I saw what I saw UFO related, and I know what I saw, and I can't figure it out. So therefore, it's space aliens, right? And then he tries telling me that his family had gone to see medicine men somewhere in the world, and they told me things there's no way anybody else could know. And you're like, Do you have a recording of that? Says Susan Gerbic, knowing fully well that there's lots of ways that, and there's no way of checking because you don't have a recording. So when you start looking into this world of paranormal, oh my gosh. And then another person on Wikipedia is just very upset that I'm not saying that facilitated communication works in some cases. I'm like, he's like showing me a video. No, look, the guy is not being cued. Look, I know his mother's sitting right next to him, but no, he's independently writing. I'm going, let's do that. Oh my gosh, look at how the video is edited. They've got an extreme close-up of this guy. You can't even see anything. I mean, his mother could be holding his hand, pushing the keyboard. If you know about facilitated communication, that's what that is. And this guy is just sitting there arguing with me. Well, I don't know if he's sitting, but I assume he's writing to me on Wikipedia. He's sitting, saying, "No, man, no way, Susan. How there's no way his mom is cueing him." I'm like, the video was released by the people who believe in facilitated communication. He's got a book for sale. They're trying to sell his book. It's a promo for the book. Don't tell me that the video isn't been edited to make him look like he is actually typing on his own. Come on now. Are we just so jaded in this world that we live in that we just forget that there's a camera right there and that there's, you guys can see what's on each side of my screen. You don't know what's going on right here and right there and what's down here. Come on. We got it. Anyway, I have lots of videos of James Randi. They're on my Susan Gerbic YouTube channel. I have a whole playlist devoted to Randi. They're random things, just all kinds of random little bits that I filmed. My dear friend Kitty, when we'd go to conferences back in the day, and Randi would be there in 2010, 2009, that's when I met Mark Edward. She would be on one side of the room filming Randi, and then when she stopped filming, I would pull up my camera and film so that we were getting a video of him from all angles if we could. But this is back in the day, we didn't have a tripod, so we're just holding the camera, and then your arm would get tired, and then so the other one would go, okay, my turn to film. So we got lots of video of him. But yeah, we've known him for years. Mark knew him for years before, and what a sad world that we're in that he's not here, and Mark. But we live on, and we find new Randys and find new Mark Edwards. They're there, and other people who have all kinds of talents. So keep looking, keep hope. Remember your loved ones. They're still there. And then we have videos and writings and all kinds of things that we can remember them with. Don't let somebody else come in and tell you that they're communicating with the dead and ruin your memory of that person. Those are your memories. Don't let somebody taint them. Anyway, so this is just a quick video that probably isn't so quick anymore. Got lots of other stuff I've got to do today, and I want to thank you all for being here with me. Comments in the bottom. Oh, I do want to say one thing. People are constantly telling me, "Oh my gosh, I wish I'd met James Randi. I had the opportunity, or I didn't have the opportunity, or I should have done this." And now I'm starting to hear that about Mark. People are saying, "Oh, I wish I had spent more time with him, or I actually got a chance to meet Mark Edward." And I want you to remember, you out there, to seize the moment to meet those people that are your heroes. Don't put them on a pedestal. We all had our flaws. We all have our flaws, especially me. But remember that you don't know who the next amazing person is you're going to meet. That person that you meet and that you're hanging out with could be amazing too, for all kinds of reasons. And someday somebody's going to go, "Oh my gosh, you met so-and-so? You had lunch with them? You were in the elevator with that person and had a conversation? I can't even imagine. That's amazing." And then again, you might be that person. you might be the person that somebody says, oh, wow, you knew that person? Look, we're all special in our own ways. Some people do something with that. Some people don't. And that's neither here nor there. But appreciate all those people in your lives. Everybody's got some goodness, some reason, something great. Well, there's a couple people I can think of, and I'm not thinking politically. But there are a few people in my life that I've known that I'm thinking, yeah, could you just maybe be an organ donor? Say that. No, she. Anyway, take care of everybody.